Cat Matlala, he appeared in court along with 4 co-accused, including his wife Tsakani. It's that attempted murder case that's dragged on now with multiple delays over the last few months. Well, today, the accused have finally seen the start of their trial, all of them pleading not guilty in connection with assassination attempts that are said to have happened between 2022 and 2024. Let's bring in SABC News reporter Neria Tlakotza, who's in court for us. So Neria, bring us up to speed then with what happened in court today, the exact nature of the charges against them, and how the case will now proceed.
Indeed, Tembekile, you are right. The trial of Vusimuzi Cat Matlala and 4 others has started here in the High Court in Johannesburg. They are facing 25 charges and 11 counts of attempted murder. This is in relation to the botched assassination of Tebogo Thobejane, Joe Sibanyoni, and Seunkie Mokubung. You remember, Thobejane was Matlala's former partner, and we heard the state talk about the evidence that they have when it relates to the case against Vusimuzi, when it relates to the issue, the shooting incident of Thobejane. The state basically talking about how accused number 1 and 2, around the time of the shooting incident, they had a communication via WhatsApp, just basically talking about how they will be able to track Thobejane. And the state also spoke about how there's evidence that shows that accused number 1 and 2, who are the alleged gunmen in this case, they can be seen at a place where Thobejane was at that night of the shooting, and even the mall that she was at during the day of the shooting. And these are some of the things that the state is using. Remember, Tembekile, the state said the evidence that they have is very circumstantial, but it cannot be ignored. The state is also talking right now about the monies that were deposited during the time of the Thobejane incident, saying that just days before that, there was monies that were deposited to accused number 5, who is charged with money laundering, and those monies were ultimately then deposited to accused number 2, who is the alleged gunman. The monies came from Vusimuzi Cat Matlala's business bank account, and this is according to the state, of course. So they're using that evidence right now to show how they are linking all the 5 accused, rather. You must know also that Vusimuzi Cat Matlala's wife is also facing charges of attempted murder also and fraud, with the state saying that when this shooting incidents had occurred and they wanted to prove their own case, Vusimuzi Cat Matlala's wife was the one who fetched the receipt at the mortuary, and the owner of the mortuary even saying that he had to write the backdated receipt under duress. And this is where the state now is saying to Vusimuzi Cat Matlala she was attempting to defeat the ends of justice, and of course then it's also saying what she did was fraud. But those are just some of the issues that will be coming out during this trial. Remember, it is set for 30 days, but we heard just before the trial had to start that some of the defense attorneys might not be available on other days of this trial, but that will only happen in August. So until then, the trial will run until August 18, then it will take a break and then come back after that again. But also, you remember, there's the issue of Joe Sibanyoni. This is the businessman. In this case, the state is saying that furthermore, Vusimuzi Cat Matlala paid the alleged gunman in this case to actually pull that hit on Joe Sibanyoni. Joe Sibanyoni was at a place with his friends. They were just sitting, and when he was heading to his complex, at the gate of his complex, that's when he was shot at. And the state is also saying even at that time, there were monies that moved around from Matlala to accused number 5 and to the gunman. And you know, Matlala has defended himself with these charges. In the case of Joe Sibanyoni, Matlala has always said that he doesn't even know Joe Sibanyoni personally. Yes, he knows of him. And with the case of Thobejane, he says he told the Alexandra Magistrates Court at the time when he was applying that him and Thobejane, yes, were in a relationship, but they broke up, and it was a mutual decision, and there was no untoward or a bad feeling. And he doesn't understand why now he's he's being charged with this. And with Seunkie Mokubung, DJ Vettys, many know him as DJ Vettys. Matlala has always maintained that he met him once at his office, and it was because of a third party that said they must meet. And as a result, he still doesn't understand how then he's linked to this. But the state today was basically giving that evidence to lay it down, to say that all of that will be shown. And, you know, with Joe Sibanyoni, the state linking the BMW that was used that night, that was recognized by Joe Sibanyoni that night, saying that BMW was found in Matlala's former partner's house. And this is because Matlala, after the shooting, did call the former partner to say, can you keep a car for me in your car? And then that's how then Ms. Papo links to all of this. And the car also, I will tell you, the BMW has also been linked to accused number 5. It was registered under her name, but whether she was still using it or not, we're still unclear on that, but it was registered. So you see there's linkages between everyone. But I'll tell you, Matlala has never denied knowing accused number 2. In fact, his argument with regards to the payments that the state is talking about, in his arguments he's saying, I paid monies to accused number 2 because I was helping her. I was helping him with his mother's funeral. And this is what the state wants to dispute right now, to say that money was not really to help with funeral arrangements. So we will hear as the case continues. But this is what the state, in a nutshell, laid down to the court today in terms of what we can expect. We know that the state will have at least 48 witnesses to this trial. But they also mentioned something interesting, that they will be making some of admissions in terms of some of the issues that will arise. They'll make admissions to ensure that they do not waste the court's time, and just to shorten the duration of the trial. So we'll hear what some of those admissions are likely to be.